Good evening and welcome to round 12 of the Victorian Premier League, and it's the Football Federation Victoria's game, and it's being broadcast to you live from Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, where it's the Southern Stars entertaining the Dandenong Thunder. The Southern Stars currently in 7th position on the table after round 11, and the Dandenong Thunder currently in 1st, but their gap on top of the table has been narrowed down to 4 points after the Oakley Cannons' victory over Heidelberg United on Friday night by 3-2. I'm Simon McCuskey, your commentator for the evening. Wherever you are worldwide, welcome to our broadcast. It should be a good game. The Southern Stars, how many pundits had this newly promoted team up there in the relegation scrap heap for season 2012? Well, they've certainly proved their worth. They're 4 games undefeated. And as for Dandenong Thunder, after a lightning start to the season, the first 8 rounds undefeated, collecting maximum points. They're yet to be defeated all season, but they've suffered a few draws the last few rounds, and were lucky to get out of jail last week with a 1-1 draw against Richmond. Now let's turn our attention to the lineups for the Southern Stars, and they're in the red kit. In goals, the home team: number 1, Fraser Siddle; 4, John Fitzgerald; 5, Luke Fitzpatrick; 6, Alan Mulcahy; 7, Yanni Galanos; 12, David Sturton; 15, Darragh Ryan; 16, Alan Kearney; 19, Liam McCormack; 22, one of the leading goal scorers for the Southern Stars and in the VPL 2 this season, Mark Leach; and number 24, Kieran Fitzgerald. And for the Dandenong Thunder, the league leaders in goals: number 1, Stuart Webster; 3, Andrew Mullett; 13, Shane Rexepi; 14, Craig Alvin; 6, Ross Thompson; 7, Liam Kearney; number 9, Vetan Kochari; 11, Iqbal Jawadi; 19, Nathaniel Foster Bowen; number 20, Luke Sherburn; and number 12, Sheptin Muller. And the referee just getting ready to kick off proceedings here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, and we will start at dash over time. It's just on the stroke of 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and wherever you are worldwide, we hope you enjoy the broadcast. It's a big match, in particular for the Southern Stars. We mentioned undefeated the last 4 rounds. Most pundits had them tipped for immediate return into Division 1 after being promoted on the very last day of the season last year. And after a slow start, and who could forget the Southern Stars' inauguration into the Premier League in 2012 was against the Dandenong Thunder, and they were absolutely smashed by 4-0 on round 1 of the season. And a lot's changed since then, in particular for the Southern Stars. They've been able, through manager Dean Hennessy, who's no stranger to the Victorian Premier League, particularly managing the Richmond Eagles and, ironically, getting the Eagles to promotion in the Victorian Premier League a few years ago. But the Southern Stars, undefeated the last 4 rounds. It all started back in round 8 with that 2-2 draw against Richmond. Round 9, a 2-1 defeat against newly promoted Moreland. 1-1 against Hume. And last week, a last-minute winner against the Melbourne Knights to win 2-1. But we're underway, and it's the Dandenong Thunder in their away kit, kicking in the white kit rather. From left to right of your screen, Southern Stars. It's been a bit of a fortress here, Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, for the Southern Stars. Foster, lovely touch, Bowen Foster. Here he is again. And both he and Sherburn, Luke Sherburn, with 8 goals this season for the Dandenong Thunder. Just need to check out the goal difference. A massive +20 for the Dandenong Thunder. They've scored 24 goals after 11 rounds of football and only conceded 4. And for the record, 8 victories and 3 draws after 11 rounds. And they're sitting clear by 4 points, but they do have this game in hand. Infringement spotted by the referee. It'll be taken by Sheptin Muller for the Thunder. In fact, looks like Shane Rexepi's going to take it, the former Richmond Eagle. Now with the Thunder. Speaking of Thunder, that could be forecast in terms of the weather this evening. Foster. Clearance there from the centre half, Fitzgerald. And look at the numbers back there for the Stars. A flat back 4 and at least 5 in midfield. Protecting their half very deep early on. Galanos. Will this hold up? It won't for Sturton. And in quite unusual circumstances, this is the second last match being played in round 12 of the Victorian Premier League. There's only one match tomorrow to finish off proceedings. And who would have thought this? Moreland Zebras up against South Melbourne. And a win for either club will ease their relegation fears, particularly South Melbourne. Who would have thought that? And who would have thought the Southern Stars turning into the second half of the season are sitting comfortably in mid-table. It's too close to comfort yet, and Dean Hennessy and this outfit from the southeast suburbs of Melbourne will only be content with securing their spot in Victoria's top flight for another season next year. They've got over 12 rounds to do it. It's going to be an interesting roller coaster to see how the final 5 take shape and who will take the dreaded drop. The Stars are their first ventures into the Thunder half. Molche. Just over 2.5 minutes played, and here you go, the Stars, the flag's down. The ball whipped across. Not connecting there, McCormack with that header. Ryan. Just couldn't find the target on the inside. It's that man again, Craig Elvin. One of the defenders of the competition. Does not put a full wrong. And ironically, Dandenong missing the services of Brian Brand. Speaking of defenders, he's out missing a game. He's collected 5 yellow cards for the season. And Foster not even bothering to go for that football. Flag would have gone up. Good pressure there from Sherburn. Gifting possession back to the Thunder. The play just over 3 minutes here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. It's 0-0 between Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder. Lovely footwork there. Nathaniel Foster-Bowen. It's a good ball too. Just can't control it, Leach. He's a predator up front. And the Thunder just going through a bit of a purple patch by their own standards. Just come so accustomed to collecting maximum points. And transfer, not finding, and it's target, but the Southern Stars will get some relief. Taking the free kick, Fitzgerald. Once again, long balls are the flavour of the evening for Leach. Just can't draw the corner. He may have a case, but the assistant and the referee adamant it's Stuart Webster's kick. He'll restart proceedings for the Thunder. And just to recap, round 12. We've already played 4 games. This is the 5th. If you haven't caught up to speed with the results from round 12 of the Victorian Premier League, it all started 3 games on Friday night. Hume City at home losing to the Melbourne Knights, a resurgent Melbourne Knights, particularly under the guidance of former club legend Andrew Stabbermarth. Lovely touch too, and Foster, the flag will stay down. It's an open goal. Surely this will give Thunder the lead, and he's fired it across the face of goal. He knows he has absolutely mucked that up. And we saw Siddle there come off his line, and Fitzgerald there, the centre half, caught napping. As we see on the replay, Fitzgerald thought the flag was going to go up. It didn't. Nathaniel Foster-Bowen there waltzed through the centre half. Was forced to go wide there because of Fraser Siddle. And it was an open goal, and he's failed to convert it. And they're the chances the Thunder need to take. That was only 4 minutes in too, and you couldn't ask for a better start for the Thunder. In fact, 5.5 minutes to be precise. Well, luckily there for Fitzgerald. The damage wasn't worse for the Southern Stars. Just stopped there. Thought the flag was going to go up. It didn't. Nathaniel Foster-Bowen there. Should have done better with an open goal. Relief for the Southern Stars. That would have been the perfect start for the Thunder. And getting back to those results in round 12. We mentioned Hume City losing to a resurgent Melbourne Knights by 2-1. The Melbourne Knights definitely needed that win. They were only thinking relegation a few weeks ago, but that has propelled them to mid-table, and they're currently sitting on 15 points with the Southern Stars. And they're sharing 7th and 8th positions respectively on the Victorian Premier League table. And the Oakley Cannons in a derby with Heidelberg, and it was a tight one too. The hosts, the Cannons, getting up by 3-2 at Jack Edwards Reserve, and that's a vital win for Oakley. They've really got a stranglehold on second position on the table. 4 points adrift now of the Thunder, and it could stay that way if the Southern Stars can do the Oakley Cannons a favour and potentially collect maximum points. But the Thunder, great opportunity to extend it either by 1 point or 3. It's 0-0 at the moment. 6 minutes played here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Saturday evening football coming to you live. And speaking of Saturday football, only one game played this afternoon in the Victorian Premier League, and it was the champions Green Gully disposing of Bentley 2-0. And that result ensures they've got 4th spot secured for the moment on the table. And we can't forget that other game Friday night too, Richmond and Northcote 0-0. Northcote and the Southern Stars in particular, the surprise packets for the season. Another team where they lost some quality, particularly in midfield. The Trefiro brothers and Trent Rickson off to South Melbourne, and also their manager too, Peter Tsalakis, who made the switch. They've been nothing short of impressive, Northcote. And they're definitely in the mix with Oakley, looking for a double chance leading into the finals, or at least a finals berth in the Victorian Premier League. But here it's 0-0. It's 0-0 at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. 9 minutes played in this first half between the Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder. You're just joining the broadcast. The Southern Stars working the ball forward in the red kit. Ryan needs to break down a solid Dandenong defence. Completely outmuscled there. Well done, former gold medalist Ross Thompson. And the Thunder hit on the counter, but check out the red shirt streaming back. Jawadi, accustomed to being on the bench, fires that ball in. That won't trouble Siddle. Here comes Jawadi. As we mentioned, getting a start this week. Normally finds himself on the bench. Not enough power on that to trouble Siddle's goal. Siddle. An infringement there. Mala. Thunder looking sharp in midfield. Jawadi taking that spot that Graham would have had. Thompson knows He's coughed up an easy pass. Challenge is now for the Thunder to get it back, and it comes through the veteran and the captain, Vetan Kochari. And it's a healthy crowd too here on a freezing Melbourne night. Particularly that outer grandstand you can see here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Pretty much 3/4 full. And it's a healthy contingent of Dandenong Thunder supporters that have made the short trek up the road to make sure they've got a presence here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex this evening. Thompson initially the target, but it's the foil through Rexepi, who took his opponent on. Unfortunately there, Mark Leach lost it, slipped over at that vital moment. He scored last week, Mark Leach. Here he is with the football. In that 2-1 victory over the Melbourne Knights, and what a win it was too. Luke Fitzpatrick scoring at the death against the Knights. The Stars, nothing much up front. Easy pickings for Webster. Kochari couldn't get it. Intercepted there by Kearney. The Stars, this is where they're struggling. Bar Leach, not much presenting itself up front. But Alvin, this has been the challenge for the Thunder. Bar Nathaniel Foster beating the offside trap. They've had difficulty breaking the Southern Stars down. And Foster Bowen could have been fouled there. There's definitely some niggling between Heath and Fitzgerald. Plays waved on. Galanos. Here's Leach. And a slippery pitch after that deluge here in the afternoon. Melbourne. Leach had to go long range or need some assistance. The overlap there. Fitzgerald is trekked deep. Kearney. Dandenong really looking well organised, covering the wings and the middle of the corridor, and it's forced the Stars back to a restart with their attack. Molche has time. Fitzpatrick. This is going to be the challenge for the Stars. Just having difficulty bringing it out of their half. We've seen it yet again. Now it's Sherburn for the visitors. Whipped in. Easy pickings again for Siddle. Marla there with the assist, and that cross. Approaching the quarter of the hour mark in this match. The Southern Stars against the Dandenong Thunder. It's 0-0. If you're joining the broadcast, and what a pass, sorry. And what a goal! Can you believe it? Check out that assist from Alan Molche, and it was superbly finished there from the Southern Stars. Boy, that is a top shelf finish. Superbly struck there from the Southern Stars. And against the run of play, they've clinched the lead against the Dandenong Thunder. Beautifully tucked away there to beat Stuart Webster. Boy, you will not see better finishes than that. That was an amazing finish there from the Southern Stars. Beautiful football all round. And we'll have it confirmed. I think it was David Sturton that scored that goal. It certainly was. And what about that for a finish? But the credit has to be given there to Alan Mulcahy. Threaded that ball through a sea of Thunder players. Two midfielders looked like they had it. Even the centre halves there in Alvin and Thompson, not to be. Mulcahy's ball delivered on a plate there to Sturton. And that is an absolute top shelf finish, and you will not see a ball better hit than that to gift the Stars the lead, and their renaissance over this last month continues. Sturton, that man, he's got the football now. He's just slipped at that vital moment. You can absolutely put that on the highlight reel for one of the goals of the season. Well, it's not just the kebabs that are hot here at Kingston Heath this evening. Sturton's boot at the same time is even hotter. An absolute world-class finish. It's going to be interesting to see how Chris Taylor and the Dandenong Thunder respond. They've been in this situation a few times for the year. Who can forget at home against South Melbourne only a month ago? They conceded a goal against the run of play. And Nathaniel Foster-Bowen on that occasion came to give the Thunder a late equaliser. Thompson. And Malachi's pass was an absolute cracker, that assist. Curdy. He's been quiet by his standards this evening. Jawadi. Buying some room on the turn. Shervin. That certainly silenced the large contingent of Thunder supporters. Thompson. Directing traffic again. Fitzgerald. And the Stars go along again, and this time the flag is down. Minutes and counting in this first half, and it's the Thunder, the visitors, who are trailing, and you won't see a goal better than what the Southern Stars scored. Kochati on the turn, and great defending there. Fitzgerald, just when you thought he was going to finish there on the inside. And we'll see it again on the replay. Swooped on there by Marla. Kochati thought he was through. Fitzgerald's touch denied the shot. And the Thunder, in unusual circumstances, trailing the Southern Stars. Who would have predicted this 15 minutes in? We mentioned it's becoming a bit of a fortress. Kingston Heath. Soccer complex for the Southern Stars. I tell you what a difference 12 weeks makes in football. The Southern Stars completely trampled by the Thunder on the opening game of the season by 4-0. Nathaniel Foster, it's a no-brainer. He was certainly offside. completely trounced. And the Stars have replied, and replied with a bang. David Sturton. On the 16th minute mark. And he gave the Southern Stars a lead and a goal of the highest quality against the run of play. And Dean Hennessy trying to cut the Thunder defence apart with long balls, but the Southern Stars here will be caught off the counter, and it's a great chance here for Sherburn on his left boot, and great stop there from Siddle. Didn't connect in terms of power there, Sherburn, but the strike was definitely on target. And Fraser Siddle tested really for the first time in this contest, just over 20 minutes in. Excepi, Kuchari. Lovely free-flowing football, this from the Thunder. And it'll start again. Kearney. Marla. And just that touch. Too much on that for Sherburn. And the Southern Stars here, they get their act together, can really hit the Thunder on the counter. Just shows you how well Dandenong's organised those numbers back. And hence, it's for Southern Stars back again. Just when you thought they were free on the break. Ryan. Touch too heavy. On his pass there, McCormack. Southern Stars not out of trouble yet as a result. Mopping up the danger. OJ. Lovely touch and dribble from Melbourne. Gets a nice spill. Nathaniel Foster, the flag is down. And unmarked there on the back post. Shepton Marler, that would have been interesting there for the Thunder. And Nathaniel Foster Bowen just couldn't connect with that cross. Fitzgerald. McCormick couldn't keep it alive. Thompson, as you mentioned, former gold medalist with Hume. And the Thunder got this element of their game up to scratch. The assists and the crosses yet to find targets. They may have a headache to show for that. Fitzgerald copped one on the ear as play continues. And eventually the Stars out of trouble. Needed to be careful there. Craig Alvin just holding on to Leach. It's the last thing the Thunder could ill afford. Potentially a foul as the last defender. Rex Epi. And well, we said it, and unfortunately it's come true for the Thunder. They've really got their game in order. It's just their passing into the final third that's letting them down. Galanos. On to with Kearney. Dispossessed. Thompson. Will go long. Sherburn. Good defending this from the Stars. It's forced the Thunder back temporarily, but Can they make something from a potential cross? And it comes in now, courtesy of Rexepi. Cleared away, but fired back in. And boy, that might hit the front 9 rather than the back of the net. Luke Sherburn there coming in with a rocket. As we'll see on the replay, bang. But unfortunately for the Thunder, not the back of the Southern Stars net. But they might do some impact or damage on the 17th hole of the adjoining Kingston Heath golf course. Approaching the half-hour mark. 26 and a half minutes to be precise. And it's the host, the Southern Stars, leading the Dandenong Thunder by a goal to nil. And if you're just joining our broadcast, it's good evening wherever you are worldwide. And make sure you jump onto the Football Federation Victoria site during the week and check out David Sturton's goal to gift the Southern Stars the lead in tonight's match. It'll definitely be a contender for one of the goals of the year. And you can also check out Extra Time too if you are living in Melbourne, in particular Channel 44, digital TV Tuesday nights. Check your local guides for details as Galanos, one of the rare times the Stars have gone down the left flank to create an attack. It's usually been a long ball through the corridor along the right, in particular that target Leach, who has been a leech, pardon the pun, and sucked the Dandenong Thunder defence dry. And it's not often you see that man there, Stuart Webster, guarding his net. It's not often you see him beaten, but he was beaten by a hit of the highest quality. Kearney. Cleared by Alvin. Vital touch there from Cocciardi, just when you thought the Stars were going to send it in again. And as this game goes on, the Southern Stars beginning to look more comfortable with the football and beginning to hold a bit more possession of their own. But here, it's a good battle between Nathaniel Foster and its hook, Fraser Siddle, taking no risks. They come off his line there between he and Fitzgerald. In fact, Fitzpatrick rather. Marla. Galanos. Thompson. Here's Mullet. Bowen Foster. He's had his work cut out. Had a great chance, and hasn't that come back to haunt him in the 6th minute when he fired that shot across the face of goal on an unguarded Southern Stars net. It should have gifted the Thunder the lead. 10 minutes later, that clean sheet down the drain, courtesy of a David Sturton. Quality strike, and speaking of quality strikes there, Luke Sherburn again, just outside the box, firing. We'll see from the corner being taken. Ball spills on the half volley. Just couldn't keep it down. Siddle hasn't had much to do, but has been confident. particularly when he came out there to fend off that previous attack only a moment ago from Nathaniel Foster-Bowen. Stars forward again. Fitzgerald combined with Mulcahy. After struggling to hold possession or have much of it in the opening quarter of an hour, the Stars are definitely finding their feet. Dean Hennessy will be impressed with this performance. The challenge will be, can they fend off the undefeated Thunder for the season? And flag up. Webster will restart. Just over 15 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Southern Stars, the hosts, in the red kit, are leading league leaders, the Dandenong Thunder, by a goal to nil. A goal of the highest quality, struck by David Sturton in the 16th minute. And that's the difference between the Southern Stars and the Thunder today. The league leaders being tested against a team which many pundits at the start of the season thought they'd be one-hit wonders in the Victorian Premier League, no doubt about it. But they're definitely holding up in a league of their own. Nathaniel Foster just looking to stay onside. Was supposed to come back there to be in line with Fitzgerald. But now, on the turn, Sherburn can finish it. Copped a deflection, but the ball will spill. And Corchari sees it hit the post and go over the bar. And as we'll see in that replay, that was a vital second touch there from Fraser Siddle. We'll see there he was unable to hold it the first time. And it took that save there on the ground there, which deflected from Corchari. And a touch of luck there from the Southern Stars. And that ball was hot to handle there the first time. It was sweetly struck there from Sherburn. This time he had the power and the accuracy. Siddle spilt it. It nearly fell to Corchari. But, as good goalkeepers do, Fraser Siddle mopped up his mistake and got a vital touch of that football. And the deflection saw it hit the bar to the relief of he and the Southern Stars, and out for a goal kick. And that's exactly what Veteran Corchari was questioning with the referee after that. Thought it was a corner. It came off Siddle. I initially thought that too, but when you look at the replay, it did get a touch off Corchari after hitting the bar. It stayed in and then went out. Thompson. Good passing of the football here from the Thunder. And this should result, you'd think, in an equaliser, and somehow it didn't. Boy, what a ball there, whipped in from Thompson across the face of goal. Thought Kearney there was going to set it up there wide. And just trying to see exactly who it was. It was Corchari. Thought would have tapped it in on the back post. But once again, luck on the Southern Stars side. Alvin. The Thunder pressing, but yet to be rewarded. Here's Marla. Good defending there by the Southern Stars through Yanni Galanos. Completely cut out any space on the inside there for Sherburn. Drew the free kick in the obstruction. Fraser Siddle, he can hold his head up high. Very creditable first half. There's a long way to go in this contest, particularly when you're the new kid on the block trying to contain a team that's undefeated for the season. You know, one thing's for certain, the Thunder will absolutely give it their all to look for that equaliser and an avenue back into this contest. And we've seen it on 3 occasions the last 5 minutes. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Just over 35 minutes played. The Southern Stars leading the Dandenong Thunder by 1-0. I'll say it forward and say it again, but you will not get sick of watching the replay. In particular, David Sturton's goal. Check it out on FFE TV online through YouTube on Tuesday, or if you've got access to digital TV, Channel 44 Extra Time. If you're living in the Melbourne metropolitan area, check your local guides for details. Tuesday evening, you can watch the pick of the bunch from the Victorian Premier League and the Palada Women's Premier League, hosted by Greg Spiteri this week. You can see the best from the men's and women's circuit in Victorian football. And speaking of multimedia, don't forget to jump on the Football Federation of Victoria's Twitter and Facebook pages to track all the latest news, results and happenings as the Stars venture forward. It copped a deflection. It brought the best out in Webster there. That shot on the turn, Galanos keeps it alive. And this time Webster holds it. Now, this will be interesting. A yellow card. And it's issued to Mark Leach. We'll see what the replay gives away. It was an obvious handball. I tell you what, he's definitely a contender for the handball team at the upcoming London 2012 Olympics. That's if Australia does have a handball team for that matter. But Mark Leach has the honour of being in the referee's book for the first time this evening. It doesn't get more obvious than that. Turning our attention back to that shot, it looked like Sturton again, who had that crack on the turn. They copped a wicked deflection there, and that was difficult for Webster to read. At full stretch, tipped it out, and he thought he was going to be tested again on the counter. Not to be, but that's a lovely touch here from Foster Bowen, and this time, now, this is an interesting call. The referee instantly calling to the penalty spot. Didn't see it the first time. What will the replay indicate? And, well, I've got to be honest with you, I didn't see it from the naked eye. But one thing's for certain, there is not one Southern Star footballer remonstrating with the referee, which gives you a good indication that whatever the incident was, I'm not sure if it was off ball with Nathaniel Foster Bowen, but the Thunder, with a great chance to equalise as the end of the first half looms. Fraser Siddle, he's had a great first half. Can he continue it? Or will the Thunder equalise? And they do, straight into the roof of the net. Luke Sherburn. And there is no way Fraser Siddle could have kept that out. He had to take a side. And he went to the right. That was the right call. But the height was the problem. Smashed into the roof of the net. And Dandenong Thunder, he didn't expect them to score from the spot, that's for sure. They've peppered the attacks and the chances on goal. They just haven't been able to finish themselves. And we will get some clarification for you during the halftime break exactly why that penalty was awarded. The only thing I can think of, was there some holding on there onto particularly Nathaniel Foster Bowen as he entered the penalty box, and after he disposed of the football. And the only reason I can think of that, and Webster once again, the woodwork there coming to his rescue this time, off the post. We're getting back to that penalty call. The only thing I can think of is if there was some holding on there from Nathaniel Foster Bowen. And it was that man marking him, John Fitzgerald. As he looked at the referee and suggested that he may not have been holding on, but once again, there was no remonstration from the Southern Stars footballers, which is generally a good sign that, whatever the reason, it was there. Kearney. That goal scored approximately the 37th minute of this first half. We've got just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half, and what a game we've seen. Against all odds too, the Southern Stars, and against the run of play, clinched the lead on the stroke of the quarter of the hour mark, courtesy of a David Sturt goal. Such was the quality, it'd even make the Euro 2012's highlight package, believe you me. And then the Thunder headed the goals, couldn't convert. In particular, some chances there presented to Nathaniel Foster-Bowen across an open goal which weren't converted. And then it took a penalty which Luke Sherburn slammed home into the roof of the net after 37 minutes. And it's 1-1. And that gets the top of the table Thunder an avenue back in this contest. The Southern Stars, however, have been more than impressive, particularly after scoring that goal against the run of play. But now, Marla doing what he does best. Draws an assist, but draws a corner. Ball whipped in. Leaping up there for the Thunder. Rexepi couldn't connect. And now the Stars, lovely 1-2. And this is exactly how they scored their first, but this one, however, won't find the target through Sturton. And that's an element of the Southern Stars game where they've looked sharp on the counter through with some long balls to cut up the Thunder's strengths. And you have to say it, defence and midfield, and it's translated into their goal difference to date. A massive plus 20 on the board. Only conceded 4 for the year, but near Nathaniel Foster-Bowen, brilliantly charged down by Kearney. That was goal bound. This time Thompson. We'll see from the replay. Beautifully whipped in. Just couldn't keep it down. And that was bound for the top right hand corner of the goal. Siddle. Missed by Galanos, but it will be a Southern Stars throw. And we're not far away from approaching stoppage time in this first half. 43.5 minutes lapsed here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. 1-1 between the 7th place Southern Stars and the top of the table Dandenong Thunder. Wow, that is interesting. First half called short to a close after exactly 43.5, nearly 44 minutes. Well, I tell you what, the referee's watch must be on Duracell batteries, extra heavy duty. He must have an extra minute or two that we haven't counted, because it's definitely a good 43.5, 44 minutes played in this match. But nevertheless, it's all square here at half time between the Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder, and it was Southern Stars gifted the minutes time. Stay tuned. Good evening all and welcome back to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex for this second half between Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder. If you're just joining our broadcast, it's 1-1 and the Southern Stars had the lead for the bulk of the first half. They scored first after the 16th minute mark, courtesy of an absolute gem from David Sturton, but it was cancelled out via the penalty spot 5 minutes before half time via a Luke Sherburn penalty. And it's the Stars kicking off proceedings this half in the red kit, kicking from right to left of your screen, but it's the Thunder. Starting off with the Thunder. Rex Seppi. Applying the pressure, Jawadi, but Alan Mulche will clear for the Stars. Newly promoted Southern Stars, both them and the Moreland Zebras, the promoted teams in this year's Victorian Premier League, and unable to connect to that cross. The Thunder through Liam Kearney, and we'll see on the replay. From what we can see of it, the invisible man there on the replay, Liam Kearney, whipping that ball in. Siddle. What a first half he had. Could have easily conceded two. Some instinctive saves, but couldn't do much about the Luke Sherburn penalty, which was brilliantly converted. It's 1-1. Dandenong currently sitting in first. Southern Stars the hosts in seventh, but regardless of the result, it has been an improvement and a half. Nathaniel Foster-Bowen. And the home crowd just suggesting, was that another penalty, considering that he got held on the first time in the latter stages of the first half. It was awarded one. Just giving some friendly advice to the referee. And Webster to restart. One by Thompson. The Southern Stars 4 weeks without a defeat, and on that journey since round 8 they've collected 8 out of a possible 12 points. It's been a good little run of form this for the Southern Stars. As for the Thunder, they've had 2 wins and 2 draws themselves in their last 4 games. But one thing that will be impressing the Southern Stars is, in particular, this is the return match from the opening game of the season, and the Southern Stars were destroyed, to say the least. The damage was only 4-0 Dandenong's way. It could have been a lot worse. And haven't they really found their own feet in this competition? And there's a long way to go, but they're in the box seat to stay up. Their destiny's in their own hands. Dean Hennessy has worked wonders with limited resources and budgets at his disposal. And it's a team that's definitely going to have a say on the shape and look of the final 5 leading into the second half of the Victorian Premier League season. And just for the record, if you're joining our broadcast, we'll give you a recap of this match, currently sitting at 1-1 between the Thunder and the Southern Stars. And we'll get back to results in a moment as the ball's whipped in, and it has been and gone out for a goal kick. But just to recap results for round 12 thus far on Friday night, Hume City at home lost by 2-1 against the Melbourne Knights, and Oakley Cannons in the derby against Heidelberg United triumphant by 3-2. And on Friday night football, it was a stalemate 0-0 between the Richmond Eagles and Northcote City. And this afternoon at Green Gully Soccer Complex, Green Gully defeated the Bentley Greens, the reigning champions in the Green Derby. The Green Gully Cavaliers and the Bentley Greens by 2-0. And this afternoon, or this evening rather, it's 1-1. Approaching the 50th minute mark of this contest between the Southern Stars and the Thunder. And round 12 will be complete tomorrow. It's the newly promoted Moreland Zebras up against South Melbourne. And for the record too, when Luke Sherburn converted from the spot in the 37th minute, he's now leading the Golden Boot this season in the Victorian Premier League with 9 goals. Not able to string that pass. The Thunder done well not to concede the corner. Kieran Fitzgerald there, frustrated with himself. Couldn't find his target up front in certain. Now the Stars need to defend themselves. Only seconds later. You want to get rid of it quickly, Fraser Siddle. Working there was Corchati. And speaking of Dandenong, for the record, that's where the online cameras will be next week. Dandenong against Hume from George Andrews Reserve. Kick-off at 3 p.m. Saturday. And you'll be able to jump on the Football Federation Victoria website and stream that match live. And if you're unable to do that, remember, jump onto Twitter or Facebook, track the results, or jump online, check out the highlights on FFE TV. Or once again, if you're living in Melbourne, you do have the ability to watch extra time. Tuesday night football, the cream of the crop from all the Victorian Men's Premier League plus Palada Women's Premier League. Highlights of both games of the week live, and what a lovely pass now. This will be interesting. Wow, I was expecting a card there to be drawn, and I was even more concerned that the defender in question could have been last man. Well, referee didn't think there was much in it, and that's good news for the Southern Stars. And once again, the right decision from the referee, because Vetna Kochati there had a good spot of it, had a good view of it. He didn't bother debating too much with the referee. Solid challenge coming in from Rexepi. And this time the flag is down, and can you believe it? The Southern Stars have the lead again. Alan Mulchay again, and the Dandenong Thunder defence, so organised for the evening, have been caught napping. Alan King, what about that flick? 53 minutes in, the Southern Stars have the lead again. Alan Mulchay there has gifted the Southern Stars the lead, and the Dandenong Thunder defence caught napping. And for a moment there, Craig Alvin and Rick Seppi were looking for the flag to go up. It didn't happen. And the Southern Stars, once again, in a sense of deja vu, their first attack for the half, it's resulted in a goal against the run of play. It's exactly what happened in the first half when Sturton did that very same thing, and this time Mulchay's done it. It was a great little flick provided from Kearney. Alan Mulchay, bang. The Southern Stars have the lead again, and the question is now, can they hold on to it? The Thunder are undefeated for the season. And the question mark will be, can they find an equaliser and maintain their undefeated record. It really is a fortress. Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, this for the Southern Stars. Good ball sent in, unfortunately wide. Fight in there from Thompson, as we'll see. Looked like it was going to find a target there inside the 6-yard box, but not to be. Ellen Molche, bang. Gets his first for the evening, the Southern Stars second. That's the story of the second half, if you've just joined our broadcast. This match over 60 minutes old, in fact 55. Price check, recall lane 8. We eventually got it right second time round. 55 minutes old. And the Southern Stars, what an upset this will be. They find a third Galanos. Lovely footwork. Not enough punch on that to test Webster. And the man of the moment, Molche, with a fine tackle. As we'll see, bang, once again, from the man of the moment. And it's re-gifted possession back to the Southern Stars. They've certainly looked more comfortable the longer this game has progressed, the Southern Stars, but the opening 15 minutes and probably the last 5 of the first half, where the Thunder dictated proceedings, it's pretty much been an even contest since. The difference is the Southern Stars have taken their chances, and that's exactly what football's a game of. The two best chances have been fully converted by the Southern Stars. Lovely 1-2 between Kearney and Molche in the second half. The Southern Stars had the lead again after conceding it late in the first half. Here's Alvin. What a defender he is in the Victorian Premier League. Kearney. Foster Bowen, battle of the 19s between he and McCormack. And the former prevails. Foster Bowen, the Thunder. With some numbers too, but it's been held up. Sherburn. And lost that unfairly, but the subsequent strike there from Thompson. He's a long-range specialist, that won't count. Can be recalled back. And the Thunder in good striking range for the second time this evening to look for an equaliser. They've come back once from behind. Can they do it again? It'll be Thompson to take this set piece. And the Stars organised with their wall. Thompson, bending ball. Whoa, plenty of power on it. Just needed to keep it down, as we'll see. It struck it with confidence too. Bent over the wall. And the height troubling Thompson. Battle for possession, and the Stars are winning the battle at the moment. Kearney. We've seen two great assists to set up two wonderful goals for the Southern Stars. Alan Kearney setting up Mulchay for the second. And it was the goal scorer himself, Mulchay, who set up David Sturton for the first. And what will be, no doubt about it, one of the goals of the season. Rex Epi. With Alvin. Now it's the Dandenong Thunder just struggling to penetrate through the Southern Stars defence. But they've got plenty of time up their sleeve. Just over half an hour of it, in fact, to at least draw an equaliser and keep that undefeated season alive. And an obvious infringement there, as we'll see. Seppi and Juardi combining to eventually, well, not for long, I was about to say get the ball out of Thunder's half, but having a say in that will be the goal scorer Sturton. Collision there between he and Kochari. Thompson, well tracked there. Kearney didn't see it coming. Ross Thompson. Alvin again, defending for the Thunder. Mulchay. Both teams just struggling to hold possession the last few minutes, but can the Thunder peg one back? Kochari just on the edge of the box, and he's found that unmarked play there, Sherbin. And boy, the Southern Stars just taking a risk or two there in defence. You can't leave Luke Sherbin unmarked, and swept off the line there. Looked like Fitzgerald, and that strike from Sherbin, a bit more power on that, and that would have been enough to ensure the sweeper on the line wouldn't have been able to clear it. And whilst the Southern Stars players just receiving some medical attention for cramp, we'll just recap on this evening's match for you if you've just joined our broadcast, and it's the Southern Stars, the hosts in the red kit, leading the Dandenong Thunder by 2-1. Goals the 16th minute mark to David Sturton, and in the 55th minute rather to Alan Mulchay. The difference was for the Thunder, Luke Sherbin converted a penalty in the 37th minute, now receiving some treatment, Liam McCormick. And this may force Dean Hennessy's hand in a substitution, so the Stars will be playing down to 10 men for the moment. Galanos needs to be precise with this transfer. Ryan. Well, that was lax there from Ryan. Southern Stars had no pressure and a great chance to clear the ball out of their half. But now it could loom as a problem. Kochari on the turn. And it wasn't touched by Siddle. It was that defender there. Looks to be Fitzpatrick. We'll get it confirmed as the ball whipped in. And yeah, it was Fitzpatrick clearing there for a corner before Siddle was called into the thick of the action. Corner will be taken. The Thunder coming forward en masse with numbers. There's a few just lurking outside the box there. Thompson, to name a few. The Southern Stars. It didn't look clean, but it was effective. Doing the job with the clearance. And what about that too? Fitzgerald. And that was good defending too, because he took a risk and left his man there, Luke Sherburn, to come out and ensure that Kochari couldn't have a shot on goal. That was great defending there from Kieran Fitzgerald. And so too there from Luke Fitzpatrick. But check out the pace here. He's got an engine on him indeed, Shepton Marler. This time Nathaniel Foster flicked it in, but once again the Stars organising defence. See that ball coming across. Galanos there clearing. The Thunder sending it back in again. Looking for an equaliser. Kochari. Target there, Sherburn. And once again, it's unorthodox, but it's effective for the Stars. And they will clear, and a great chance to rebound on the counter too. Great pace there from Fitzpatrick. Feeds it to that goal scorer, Sturton. And the assistant adamant. Sturton got a touch. So too does the referee. But the home supporters don't think that's the case. Alvin. Nice little 1-2 between Galanos and Molche. And now again, but this time it will be a Thunder throw. Mullet. Here's Alvin. And the Stars need some numbers up. The Thunder, with plenty of men back, that's exactly what they'll do. Hold up play. To Ryan. It's a good ball from Ryan too. Split down the middle to Galanos. He's had a bit of the football this second half. Kearney. What a form turnaround this has been for the Southern Stars. As we mentioned, absolutely smashed by the Dandenong Thunder in the opening game of the Victorian Premier League season by 4-0. A lot of pundits thought they'd be the whipping boy of the competition, but not to be. They started off slow, have consolidated a spot mid-table, undefeated the last 4 weeks, and they could be well on their way towards registering revenge against the Thunder, and some more salt in the wound. That could be the Thunder's first loss for the year, and that shot wide. That wasn't far off the mark either. Liam Kearney, we'll see, on the half volley. Just wide there of Siddle. Not the best of corners taken from the Thunder. Rex Seppi in there too. It's a sea of players. Jawadi. And it all came undone between he and Kearney. Siddle. Swept away by Fitzgerald. Be Elvin's throw. Just over 20 minutes remaining in what has been a pulsating round 12 Victorian Premier League match between the Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder. And it's the hosts in red, the Southern Stars. They could be registering one of the shock results of the season. Should this result stand, they're leading the undefeated Dandenong Thunder by 2-1. Corchari. Lovely control. Unable to hold it, Sherburn. Alvin with confidence. Sturton was through. Kearney again. Wins the throw. Nevertheless, good defending there from the Stars. And we'll see. It looks like the captain, Vetan Corchari, coming off for the Dandenong Thunder. It will be indeed, to the warm applause of the travelling supporters there on the outer flank here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. And he's come off, and it's Hamlet Armenian coming on. Just on the stroke of 70 minutes, Nathaniel Foster wanted the ball. Sent back in. Boy, that was charged down, and he'll need a Panadol or two there. Luke Fitzpatrick, that was a headache. That ball absolutely rammed in, and Fitzgerald didn't know too much about it, but once again, it did the job. Thompson, he was lurking there for that half volley. It was cut off. Rexepi. Well, his target, the intended target was Sherburn. That's off range. And 17 minutes remaining to be precise. And that's what stands between the Southern Stars, registering 3 wins in the space of 5 weeks, and condemning the Dandenong Thunder to their first defeat for the season. But the Dandenong Thunder, if there's one thing they specialise in, and that's finding goals, regardless of the period remaining in the match. And an infringement there. No advantage given from Thompson, so we'll start again. In fact, I'm sure if the flag went up the first time, so the infringement stood. But Siddle, won again by Alvin. He's been dominant in the air. It's the new substitute, Armenian. Was too deep for Sherburn. Galanos has time and space. Will need to get rid of it just when you thought Armenian was lurking. Lovely touch from Sturton. And the Stars look composed to the warm applause of the home crowd here on this media end. And the correct call there from the assistant. Definitely off the boot of Mullet last from the Thunder. Right in front of us here in the broadcast facilities at Kingston Heath Football Complex. And wherever you are worldwide, trust you're enjoying the coverage. 15 minutes remaining in this round 12 Victorian Premier League match between the Southern Stars and the Dandenong Thunder. And it's the 7th placed Southern Stars leading the undefeated top of the table Dandenong Thunder by 2-1. And the equation set for a thrilling finish. Well, Sturton got it right in the first half. This time, wide off the mark. Footwork was there, and as we'll see, the finish not on the radar. Control from Sherburn. Was he obstructed? The referee agrees. It's frustrated there, Kearney, but Alan Kearney with that decision, but it was definitely there. It was Kearney on Kearney, Alan Kearney. And now Thompson to take this set piece. Punch clear by Siddle. Too deep for that initial target in Armenian. It's a Thunder throw. 14 minutes remaining, but we will have a minute or two of stoppage time. Cleared by Kilpatrick. Mulcahy, definitely one of the contenders for man of the match honours. Scored a goal himself. Created the assist for Sturton to finish in the first half. It's one of the best passes you'll see too, set up for the opener for the Southern Stars. Defending there from Fitzpatrick. He's had a solid game at right full back. Galanos. He's made plenty of ground in this second half, and not playing to the whistle there, Armenian, and he's just allowed Galanos to continue doing his own thing. Poor discipline there from Armenian. I'm sure Chris Taylor won't appreciate it. And it's the commentator's curse, isn't it? The second pump up someone's tyres, Luke Fitzpatrick, in having a brilliant game. He miscues that clearance, but he's entitled to it. He's had a great game. Plenty of credits in the bank this evening. Just a bit of sting taken out of this match the last 10 minutes. But surely would be a sense of urgency for the Thunder to look for an equaliser with just over 10 minutes remaining in this contest. And it's set up for a great finish. The Southern Stars could be extracting revenge from their opening day mauling in this return clash here at Kingston Heath Football Complex. And who could forget, it was only 13 weeks ago when the season started and the Southern Stars were completely outclassed by the Dandenong Thunder by 4-0. And the newly promoted club are in the box seat to have one over their neighbours and inflict the Thunder's first defeat for the season. And in the meantime, Chris Taylor's turned to his bench, and it's Sean McElroy, number 18, coming on. No doubt he'll be working hand in hand with Nathaniel Foster-Bowen up front. He could be in the thick of it right now. McElroy, he lined up to get his first touch. He'll do that right now. And he comes on for Ross Thompson, who's had a serviceable game for the Thunder. Mulcahy and the crowd advising to kick it before McElroy loomed. Rick Seppi wanted it more, didn't he? Mulche. And a bit unlike him to be uncertain, but now Nathaniel Foster-Bowen wanted that space on the inside. And the Stars need to be careful. Pressure's looming. That was late. Now this will be interesting. Were the studs up? It's going to be a card. The question is the colour. Now Galanos needs to be careful for remonstrating. In fact, you could see two cards here. One issued to Sherburn, the goal scorer, to yellow, and got to say from instinct, it looks like it's the correct decision. Definitely careless, a fraction late. Will Galanos be reprimanded too? Now, we'll just get that clarified for you. Maybe Rexetti, apologies, because the quality of the lighting, particularly on the outer flank, isn't of the best standards. We are going to say it is Rexepi, but we'll have it confirmed for you the minute it's through. In fact, it is. And he's in the thick of the action again, Rexepi. And the Southern Stars with a great chance, you think, to put this match out of the reach of the Dandenong Thunder. Not long to go, 7 minutes remaining. The ball whipped in straight to Webster, had to hold it, lurking there. Fitzgerald caught it quickly off the spill. Cleared by Fitzpatrick. Lovely back heel there. Bowen on the inside. McElroy with the foil. But it won't be enough. And taking out his own player there, Siddle. But he needs to get up quickly. The Thunder will send it back in. Jawadi on the back post. Couldn't be kept down there. And relief there for the Southern Stars, and I'm sure the heartbeats just increased 150-fold. But once again, the Southern Stars supporters, I'm sure you can hear it, breaking out in huge raptures here. Rexepi, frustrated he couldn't keep that header down. And the Southern Stars could be on the verge of a famous victory here. And Dean Hennessy will be one of the most relieved men on this pitch, should the Southern Stars be able to hold on. And we're only 30 seconds away from stoppage time. The Thunder, can they salvage a point out of this game? Or can the Stars do the impossible and score another? Mullet. Alvin. What Nathaniel Foster-Bowen there. Cut off again by Fitzgerald. He's been so solid in defence for the Stars this evening. And this is trouble now for the Stars. What a finale we've got here. Good defending yet again. Unable to buy some space on the inside for Liam Kearney. The tall timber prevailing again. Bowen Foster nearly through. Here's a chance for Mullet. And once again, Liam McCormick charged it down with his head. For the record, I don't even know how he got up from that, because that was scorched straight onto the temple. McCormick got up. He might have a bruise to show for it tomorrow morning, but if it results in 3 points, he will not care. And we just hit extra time. Speaking of the devil, you can watch all of the highlights of this match on extra time next week. Tuesday night on Channel 31 or Channel 44 if you have digital TV. Check your local guides for details. Thunder. What a huge kick this is in the context of this match. In the stoppage time, the question is, how much of it will we have? You feel no more than 2 to 3 minutes, but we thought we'd have another minute or two of time in the first half. That was called short. Only the referee will know as the substitutions made for the Southern Stars. And the referee content now. It's been made. Thompson won't be able to take this set piece. He's off. And those duties will rest to Luke Sherbin. The Thunder, can they keep their undefeated season alive? Sherbin! He nearly did it. That was an absolute rocket. I thought that was going to fly into the back of the net there. Past the defences of Fraser Siddle. I tell you what, wouldn't it be interesting to have a camera there on that far post? That must have been millimetres off the woodwork. Rex Epi, Dandenong, with one final roll of the dice, you feel, in search of an equaliser. And the Stars, check out the numbers back. They're not out of trouble yet. Here's a chance. Sherbin on the turn. Deflected again and charged down. And the Stars might get out of trouble. Surely a foul from Sherbin, and you feel that's a big play. And there you have it, full time. And there you have it, full time as signalled. A big play. And there you have it, full time. And there you have it, full time as signalled. And the Southern Stars have done the and inflicted the Dandenong Thunder's first defeat for the season. And you think that the Southern Stars have won $30 million in the lottery. The home supporters are in absolute raptures here at Kingston Heath Football Complex. It's a huge 3 points for the Southern Stars in context of cementing their position in the Victorian Premier League in their inaugural year. And as for the Dandenong Thunder, wow, what a big 5 weeks it's been. Their lead at the top of the table has been cut in two. It's down to only 4 points now. They have suffered defeat for the first time this season to the Southern Stars, losing by 2-1. And as for the Southern Stars, what a massive 13 weeks it's been. At the start of the season, this very team absolutely thumped them at the opening game of the season by 4-0. And to say that revenge is sweet is an absolute understatement for the Southern Stars. They have completed Mission Impossible and defeated the Dandenong Thunder on their home turf. And their undefeated streak remains alive 5 weeks in without a loss. And that win will ensure that the Southern Stars will sit in outright 7th position in fact, I'll take that back. Outright 6th. Imagine this. They're going to be leapfrogging Hume City, but Green Gully's win will ensure they sit in outright 6th position after round 12 of the Victorian Premier League. And for the record, the Southern Stars opened up their account in the 16th minute, courtesy of a Durra Ryan bullet from 20 yards out. One of the goals of the season. Make sure you check it out. In fact, I'll take that back. David Sturton in the 16th minute. Make sure you check out the highlights on FFE TV and Extra Time. One of the goals of the season. And the Thunder equalised after 37 minutes, courtesy of a Luke Sherbin penalty. And then Alan Molcho came and gifted the Southern Stars the lead. And they did not relinquish it. They've won by 2-1 over the Dandenong Thunder. It is an absolute huge win in the context of their season. Check out Dean Hennessy here and the players on the sidelines celebrating with the players. We hope you can see that on your footage at home. But what a huge game, a huge month it's been for the Southern Stars. They have certainly gone a long way, you feel, towards securing their spot at least this season in the Victorian Premier League. From me, Simon McCuskey, we trust you've enjoyed the game here at Kingston Heath Football Complex. And the Southern Stars are victorious over the Dandenong Thunder by 2-1. Do jump online next week. We'll be back with you Saturday afternoon, and ironically, it'll be the Dandenong Thunder again up against Hume City, and a chance for the first season for the Dandenong Thunder to rebound. But from here, it's good night, and we'll see you in a week's time. And we'll see you in a week's time.